For class, I was assigned to discuss chapters 21 and 22 from the book Yes, 50 Scientifically Proven Ways to Be Persuasive. And in chapter 21, the author started out talking about the website eBay, kind of how it was started, and also just a couple of different stories about some bidders that have been on the site, including a really funny story about how a UK radio personality person was flirting with someone on air. His wife heard it and sold his sports car for 90 cents on the website. That's pretty crazy if you ask me. But the author started going on about and made some points about how pricing actually can persuade us. The author stated that lower prices being set first can actually lead to a higher final sales price. And there's about a few reasons for this. And that the first reason is because starting prices for auctions actually kind of act somewhat as like a barrier for entry. A good example of this is I know that a lot of celebrities do things like sell their really nice dresses or just random items that they've worn on eBay to try to gain some money for charity. And I know if someone that I personally really liked posted something on eBay for $500, I'm not going to even start bidding because I already know I can't afford that. But if they started the bid at a lower price, like $5 or $10, then I at least would be more likely to invest some time and start bidding. Hopefully, I would move on and get the item, but you can't really guarantee that with eBay. The second reason is because increasing traffic and the total number of bids can actually act as social proof for a new bidder. So if you see that someone is, like a lot of people are on a particular bid and they really want this item, it makes you feel like it's kind of a hot commodity. So you're more likely to bid for it, rather as if it was like kind of a just something you didn't really care about and not a lot of other people cared about. You would probably just think the product's just not worth it, not worth your time, not worth making a bid. And then also, bidders for items with low starting prices are more likely to spend time and effort updating those bids. So if you were the first person to get on an eBay bid and you saw that it was $5, $10 and you constantly continued to bid throughout the time, you're more likely to stay with it because you've already invested all this time and all this money into trying to win this item. Whereas if you came into the bid on the very last day, you probably wouldn't be very likely to actually bid or be as invested in the item. However, this whole principle about bidding is only really effective if you have more than two bidders. If you have two people, then placing the lowest price isn't really going to do any help. But if there's a lot of people, having a low price that goes slowly up is going to attract more attention. And then for chapter 22, the authors discuss more about how expertise can either help us or harm us. Sometimes when we kind of talk about ourselves and when we're good at something, if we talk about it, people just think we're boastful or conceited. And something that we can do to try to fix this is actually have someone introduce us. That can actually bring some more attention to what we have to say. An example that I thought of was I actually went and saw Joe Biden's speech back in the fall semester, and everyone knows who Joe Biden is. He's our vice president. He's very influential. However, they had someone introduce him beforehand, talk a little bit about his passions, his time in office, just like give us a little bit of a biography about him before he came out, and that seemed to captivate the audience more. So if you were to sit there and try to tell someone like, hey, I'm a great artist, for example, I can draw you this, and that. They might not believe you, but if you were with one of your friends and your friend was like, oh yeah, she's really good at drawing, she can do this and that, someone's more likely to believe you because someone else has backed you up. Another example that I've thought of is a lot of times with books, someone will have a preface in the book from a different author, kind of talking about how they really like this book and how it's gonna be a good read and everything like that. So that's something that can really help people actually listen to you, as if you have someone talking about your expertise beforehand. And also, another thing that the book talks about is degrees and diplomas. If you're in a room with someone and they're a doctor or a psychiatrist or a dentist or something, and you don't see all along the walls that there are different certifications and proof that they are accomplished, you're more likely to feel nervous around them and less likely to listen to them. But if you see, oh, hey, there's their Clemson diploma, oh, hey, there's their MUSC diploma, you're more likely to sit there and think, oh, hey, this is how I can, like, I see that they are very professional, they know what they're doing, and you can put your faith into them.